over there. Stand over there and do both. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody. Thanks to everybody for coming. And especially when I make a siyum, I always make a little nishmas for several neshamas. So the siyum, of course, the siyum hashas and all the learning that I will go should be a little nishmas and the schus for these neshamas. Little nishmas Moshe ben Shlomo Yaakov, little nishmas Moshe ben Chaim Tzvi, little nishmas Moshe ben Yisrael, little nishmas Rav Mendel ben Rav Levi Yitzchak, little nishmas Rav Tziva Yisrael, little nishmas Rav Sarah Rivka Bashraga. Rivka Bashraga, Chayvish, the Nishmas of Yitzchak Bar Shmuel Yaakov, the Nishmas of Moshe Bar Aaron, Rav Amram, the Nishmas of Aaron ben Rav Amram, the Nishmas of Miriam, Rav Amram, the Nishmas of Shim Bar Yechoy, the Nishmas of Yosef ben Rav Eliyahu Zalman, the Nishmas of Yehuda Chizkiyahu ben Rav Yosef, the Nishmas of Fol Yitzchak Dov ben Rav Toli Herzl Chaim, the Nishmas of Gershom ben Rav Eliyahu Zalman, the Nishmas of Eliyahu Zalman ben Rav Aaron Meir, the Nishmas of Tzi Bar Yisrael, the Nishmas of Rav Yisrael ben Eliezer, the Nishmas of Avraham Tzi Chaim ben Ezra, the Nishmas of Yehuda ben Avraham Yitzchak, the Nishmas of Yechiel Tzi ben Rav Moshe Arya, the Nishmas of Yehuda ben Roisam, the Nishmas of Yaakov Shmuel ben Rav Baruch, the Nishmas of Lemelch ben Rav Lezer, the Nishmas of Sharon ben Sharon Shashana bas Chanach. And all these shaman should get aliyah, that we should be closer to the Gula, closer to Chiyas Mason, so we should be able to have the Gula quicker. And first I'd like to thank my great cousin, Danny Green. He gave me the great courage to finish Shas. Of course, it was several years ago when he made us siyum Shas. I'm sure he finished Shas several times by now with Danny and Daniel. And I used to finish Masechta several times. I finished Babas, who knows how many times. I finished Kedushin, who knows how many times. I did so many Masechta so many times that I just never decided to go through Shas. I came to Daniel's siyum Shas several years ago, and it gave me the courage, you know what, let me try for it. And it was around 10 years ago, something like that, maybe a little more. It was first siyum Shas or second siyum Shas. Kitzur Isa, so I got the courage. I said, you know what? I'm going to take my Shas out and go through every single Masechta one after another until I get to the end of Shas. Now, the reason why we made it in this building is for two stories. I'll say the first one is the Shvach, and the second one is a little Techacha. So I'll say the Shvach first. But there's a story going back. It's brought down the Chofetz Chaim Sefer that there was this Yeshua sent spies to Eretz Yisrael, and the spies needed a place to hide while they went to visit. So came out Rachel Azayna and spotted them, and she knew they were spies, and she hid them. She gave them a place to stay. She said, "Yeah, we'll hide you with this, just on one condition, that we should be saved, and they should be saved from the being killed." So not only did they get saved from being killed, but it brought down, the Gemara brings down that afterwards they built a place called Lutz. And anybody who went to Lud, the town of Lud, was saved from these Mishunas. And not only that, not one kingdom was able to conquer Lud. Chanetza couldn't conquer it. Not one country was able to knock down that country because of the schus of the chesed that they did to the spies. So the shvach to my two friends Yitzi and Nachi, who are not here actually, Yitzi Schreiber and Nachi Chab. The shvach for them that they gave me a place to stay. I made a siyum in their actual building at their offices, and the shvach to thank them for giving me a place to stay. Always make sure that I had a place for Shabbos. In times for Shabbos, of course, several of these people had me over for Shabbos from time to time. Now, through that schus, I was able to always steig away, no matter what it was, and to continue going through Shas, going through Chofetz Chaim shears, and everything that I was able to give, and learning. And it wasn't just Tamazoy. When I started going through Shas, it wasn't going easy. I need to chapel more. So when you build up toy. you build up in learning. You got to build up more svarim. You got to take this safer. You got to take the Moshe Zohar. Sometimes you got to take a Seal Sharm. You got to take a Achas Sadikim. And so slowly you take on all these svarim and you go along to help you to go through the shas that you go learning through. Sometimes one learning Gemara gets boring and you need something else to learn to get you more. So that's what's shot in Kelis, is Tachas Bezeh, Tachas Bezeh. You should grab in this and grab in that. So as you grab this safer and grab that safer, eventually you get through shas and eventually you get through everything. So that's a shvach. Another story that I heard when I was in Eretz Yisrael this last time was Parshas Vayero, the Parshas Sodom, and there was a group of Bachrim, a few American Bachrim from Yerushalayim. They went to Sodom to swim by the beach. Happens to be one Bachar was drowning, and another Bachar went to save him. Who happened to be a lifeguard. He knew first aid, CPR, and everything. Went to save him in the water, and he went to his bathing suit. So what happens is he had to call Magen Adom and everything else to come down to take him in the hospital. He went to the hospital and he came back. It was happened to be Friday, Erev Shabbos, Parshas Vayero, and finally he gets out of the hospital from releasing this patient, from saving this patient. Gets out right before Shabbos. So in Sodom, where does he go? Really much. There's not that many places there in Sodom where it was in Eretz Yisrael. So yes, someone where the Knesset is, the basic Knesset is, goes to the basic Knesset in his bathing suit and his t-shirt and his sandals. You get a chance to find a suit or nothing, you don't know what to ask or anything. I don't want to say the name, so we shouldn't come to. Some people might say who, what, where, when, Lashon Hara or something. So Kitzur Maisa. So he goes into the basic Knesset and he comes to davening. He asks people to invite him. Nobody wanted to invite him. No one wanted to look at him. Nobody wanted to say anything about it. Oh, no, I'm not taking you. I'm not taking you. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Some strangers. Chaloni. Who are you? Kitzur Maisa, so he wanders on the street and he finds up the yeshiva there. He meets some old friends of his from America and this and that. They recognize him and say, what happens? They told him the story. He had to save someone in the water, and he went and he swam and he came back in his bathing suit, which for Shabbos he had a chance to go back to Yerushalayim to get a suit. So they gave him clothing. His friends gave him clothing. They gave him a nice meal and everything else. Came Friday, Shabbos morning, asked him to come down. You know, this Bacher happened to be had a very good voice, very good chazan. He knew chazanas and everything. He gave him a nice suit and everything. He said, come down with us in yeshiva. He said, no, I'm going back to that shul where I davened the night before. So Kitzur Maisa, he goes back to that shul where he davened the night before. And he starts saying along with the shachar, so he brings up his voice and everything. And everyone hears it. So who's this guy? This Oisher coming with a nice suit, and you know, so gorgeous, so beautiful, so such a gorgeous voice. So they give him a Aliyah, the Mafter Aliyah and everything. Ask him, maybe he could do some chazanis from Musaf. Yeah, for his gorgeous voice. He gets up there. He was a chazan. He put away a Musaf. Shein Kamoyu. And they Olam heard a Musaf from this person that they never heard it before over there in Stoim. Kitzur Maisa. Afterwards, they asked him, who are you a guest by? So I said, no, I have a place to eat. So, come eat by me, come eat by me, come eat by me, come eat by me. So, oh, one second. You want me to come eat by you? Takes out a bag of his clothes, comes in a shopping bag with his bathing suit, throws it across the table, and says, yesterday, I was in this person with the bathing suit and the sandals and everything, and you didn't want to take me into your house for a guest. Today, now I come in a nice suit and I do chazanis. You don't want to take me in. Now do you want me? So now I'm going back to my friends in the yeshiva to eat there. Kitzur Maisa. Kachas, person has to learn Musar, has to say when he sees a rotten animal on the street, a dead deer, and what does the Seal Sharm Chayvus of Ovis and the Avestigim say? You have to look at his gorgeous white teeth, not say how bad the smell is. So look at his gorgeous white teeth. Every Yiddish neshama is a precious neshama, Every Yiddish neshama, no matter how he dresses, is a precious, precious neshama. And you never know what he can accomplish in his life by treating him nice and bringing him in the right direction. And there's another story I want to bring down, just to basically, hopefully, that someone will watch this video. Since it's on a videotape, it's going to go on YouTube eventually. So, Kitzur Maisa, there's once a story. I'm trying to save someone's life with this story, basically. Because there's a story a long time ago that there was a Garish, was a very big Russia. He was out to knock everybody out and doing terrible things. We'll mention the names here. So it was a Rishua Leib Diskin, or Abraham Yeshua Diskin actually, who told people to tell the government and they should arrest him. So they went there and they said, Abraham Yeshua said that should do a serum. Who could do this? So Chaim Brisker came out against him. Chaim Brisker, I heard the story from my Rebbe from Prague, and I saw it in the Chafetz Chaim also, the same story. And so Chaim Brisker writes out Zetlich against this Rav. How could he be doing a terrible thing? How could he do such a terrible thing? How could he do this? It's terrible Masira. You should put him in Chayim, this and that. Kids are nice. A short while away, the Brisker had a sick child. And this child was born with a terrible tumor in his mind. And he couldn't make it. He wasn't going to make it. So he kept asking Rav what to do. So they said, go to Rav Yeshua Diskin. Ask him Mechila. How could I do this? He was the Masira. I mean, I was right. No, go to Rav Yeshua Diskin. Ask him Mechila. Ask him Mechila. Maybe he had a tzad that he was right to be mastering this person. So Kitzur Maisa, he goes to Rav Yeshua Diskin. And Rav Yeshua Diskin takes out a paper. Says, this is the operation procedure of your son. This is so and so. This is what the doctor should do. The blueprint of the operation. It says this is how he's going to get the tumor out, and this is everything how he's going to do it. It's nice. He's like shocked. He says, okay, take it to the doctor. The doctor said, who wrote this blueprint? He says, Rav Yeshua Diskin. So he went to the Rav Yeshua Diskin. How do you know this? Bainishon was Badia me how to save this child. This person is coming to ask Mechila. And this is how I'm going to save this child. Kitzur Maisa, Chaim Brisker, son was saved, and he named the son Yitzchak Zev. Yitzchak Zev Brisker. Yitzchak Zev. So this was a famous story. I don't know how many people know it. It doesn't say the names in the Chafetz Chaim in this story, but this is what the people it was. And now there's someone that happened to be, I know, that has the same matzav, which he went around. And he went around schmutzing certain rabbanim, and he ended up with a sick child. And this child's actually his name is Yitzchak Zev also. Same name as the Brisker Rav, and the same. It's like a gilgul from the story, Bashit. And it's scary. And I wish the person would have. He doesn't have to ask the Mechila because the Fida Chafetz Chaim. And so you don't have to ask Mechila when you say Lashon Hara on a person. You just have to have Charata basically. Because sometimes asking Mechila on a person would bring back courage on the person, especially if the person doesn't know that you bashmutzed him, you berated him. But you have to have Charata. Then someone can daven for his child to be saved. So eventually I'm going to start davening for this person's child. Of course, I was matzel several people in several situations already. My tefillas, Baruch Hashem, give me a koyach tefillah. They have to save a lot of people. So I'm going to start davening for this child. Eventually, this person will get this message, and he should have charata on what he's done. To bashmutzing is a certain rabbanim, and eventually I'll be able to be matzel his son. Eventually, from the I'll write a new kvittel. And I tell him I have a whole bunch of kvittel for certain people I daven for, and hopefully his son will be matzel. Like it says, and morale brings down. It says, "Gamas by gracious." When the Baruch tells Avram, when your children will get out of Golis, "Gamas agoy asher avoidu don anoichi." What's pshat don anoichi? First of all, why do we have to say v'gam? Should say gam is a goy, shevoid don anoichi. So v'gam is goy, shevoid don anoichi means to come to tell us that if anybody hurts anybody, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be a goy that did it. Even if you treat a person like a goy, or if you work per worker, a Yiddish worker, shein kamoya, you don't pay him his wage the way you're supposed to. That's what the Gamas goes to avoid them. Don Anoichi comes to tell the Bain Shalom will be Don Anoichi. Also, the Zohar Kodesh brings down on that pasuk. The Gamas goes to that avoid Don Anoichi. That if a dayan brings out a bad psak on a person, and then Don Anoichi, I'll be medan him also. We're going to come to speak about this Peshat that back from the story of Yeshua Leidiskin and the Brisker Rav, that he asked him, how could you go out and be Messiah? So he says, sometimes the Gadol sees a person that needs to get a clap, and he can't get it from the Rabbanim. He has to go bring it from the government. So he has to get that pass from the government. So when I see that someone needs a pass from the government, I see he needs a pass from the government. It's not else Messiah. So when you berate of someone to do that they did Messiah, you were aveling Klal Yisrael in a terrible chet. So that's what was Peshat, that he was able to do Messiah. Maisa, Gamas Goyish Avoid and Don Anoichi comes to tell us that even in a person such a situation, a person shouldn't look to be the one to be Maisa the next person. Should somehow try to find a way to be Me'akiv him, to direct him away from his mistake, without causing any harm. Okay, so I'll finish off with basically the Mishnah here. Both of these Masechtas Yivamis and Masechtas Nida, which I'm finishing with the same shtickle Gemara, and so this Masechtas Krisis, and so this Masechtas Brachos finished with the same Gemara. Basically, Shat is here. It says, Amar Rabbi Loza, Amar Rabbi Chanina, Talmidei Chacham, Ma'am Shalom Ba'olam, Shenebel Chol B'nayach, Mudei Hashem, Rav Shalom B'nayach. Talmidei Chacham, Ma'am Shalom Ba'olam, Shenebel Chol B'nayach, Mudei Hashem, Rav Shalom B'nayach. This basically fits the story that we say. That Talmidei Chacham should be Ma'am Shalom. They shouldn't be looking to knock each other out. They shouldn't be looking to be moiser on the next person. They shouldn't be looking to cause machlaitzim. If they do that, then Chol B'nayach, then your children is going to be B'nayach. Your Talmidim will be B'nayach. They'll be the B'nayach of the base of Mikdash. Just like it says, Amul Panei Anayah. Amul Panei Anayah was come to tell us Amul Panei Anayah, but Valoischa is Anayah, Amul Panei Anayah. So the first bring down Amul Panei Anayah, that all the wicks stood to the center to show the Achdus of Klal Yisrael. The Anayah was the negative lave of Klal Yisrael. The Anayah was the negative lave of Klal Yisrael. That's what shows that we're all connected together. When we're all pointing together, then the Melayah stands as Miksha Achas, Zov Achas. In order for us to have Chol B'nayach, Talmidei Chol Ma'am Shalom, then Chol B'nayach, Mudei Hashem, Rav Shalom B'nayach, Al Tik B'nayach, B'nayach. In order to Klal Yisrael to be B'nayach is when there's Shalom in Klal Yisrael. And when there's Shalom in Klal Yisrael, and all B'nayach, all your children, all combined as one, then we're able to be Zeicha to a Beis Mikdash Shel Zav, which is Miksha Achas Shel Zav, which is coming down eventually. Karev Meir V'meinu. Hadan Aloch Masechtas Hadan Aloch Yisha Baso Sligal Masechtas Yivamis Hadan Aloch Yisha Baso Sligal Masechtas Yivamis Halach Yishvas was Slikum Masechtas Yivamis. Halach Tinoikus Alikul Masechtas Nida. Halach was Tinoikus Slikum Masechtas Nida. Halach Tinoikus Alikul Masechtas Nida. 1 second. Halach Masechtas Nida. Masechtas Yivamis. Meshas Bavli Morashi Toisus. Halach. Daitan Masechtas Nida. Talmud Bavli Daitan Halach. Masechtas Yivamis. Daitan Halach. Let's touch me up Masechtas Nida. Masechtas Yivamis. Talmud Bavli. Let's touch me up all my whole day. The Lord Almighty Hashem. Halach Masechtas Nida. de zegt Jewamus is Talmud Babli, we hadden nog nog met zegt Zida, we zegt Jewamus is Talmud Babli, daar nog een station nog met zegt Zida, we zegt Jewamus is Talmud Babli, dat is station nog op omhoog en op om de asse. Hadden nog met zegt Zida, we zegt Jewamus is Talmud Babli, we hadden nog daar nog met zegt Zida, we zegt Jewamus is Talmud Babli, daar nog een station nog met zegt Zida. Dan zegt ze wel dat ze Talmud Babli, dat is nationaal, dat we allemaal hadden en dat we allemaal de assen. Je had ze vandaag dat in de oile heen en zijn. Steeds de ras komen en zijn we allemaal zeggen, zijn mannen allemaal bach. Niet bij papa, Romi bij papa, Nachman bij papa, Achoy bij papa, Abamori bij papa, Rafram bij papa, Rochish bij papa, Sucha bij papa, Ado bij papa, Doro bij papa. Half dan in oile heen als de wist ras of fino, vier samengebezen zo, niet aan nacht, het zijn, het zijn kolberes. Het zou ik al aangooi zo kwam Joodische mechel in de zeggen schma. Maar je weet ga ik meen met zo zeggen, ik wil hier wie samen we goed krijgen de man die eerste man die eerst krijg ik weer ik kwam hier Sunny burger dat in nooit aan dingen goed krijgen amen cellen amen cellen voor heute man nacht mal vanaf in de hele heen dat zijn ze samen kunnen we eerst wees met de samen kunnen we eerst kan is zo allemaal schema helemaal schema de website helemaal schema dat waren we Anna meen, Anna meen kan sachen, meen kan sachen. Anna ratsen en heen ratsen, Anna ratsen ga je aan bar, een ratsen er schafas, snel maar in de schafas. Als je dan in de jas je mee maar niet afval. Die ratsen net dat die nou hij is de zaak zo kan je zijn maar zelfs niet dat zegt ze van het andere bablik maar als crisis. Geen dat zijn de haast om zegt ze zwaar maar geen zijn en wil met de naam niet meer naast is kein is kolle is aan te zeggen we hebben het goed en dan met Milan zo middag komen ja die is daar is zo met dat met die zari we zari ooit dan en de oilam is kein wie is Allah gaat geisig schach gaat is maar Allah ik zei is gaga wie hier bij je mag je zien van de gas nice gaan eigenlijk jammer niet is maar is gaan bij en dan is aan eten en dan mag samen schrijven is gadol wie is gadol shmeidabo allemaal die ossen als gados die achol masio asok yosen achaye allemaal niet een kaart aan de Jerusalem shachlola glebe gaving en kan maar begonnen in gro in alle so begonnen is bij de aas in jammer kusche brief maar goed zei we kan die haas maar kon kees beschikken ga je geweest zo goes man kan ik oh nee Sporach, Istabach, Isboah, Isleim, Isnase, Salon, 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 Kitchabrichu, hey, no, Kobe Kostas, Shios, the Shwas, Nechmos, and Yim, Amen. Hey, so, one of them, and I'll call them this, some of them will come and ask them, and I said, I say, and you call the Sabbath side, hey, and Coin Shama, Abachin, and Christian, and Chaim, Nichos, and Bichon, and Mishmai, Amen. Hey, Shama, Shmai, Chaim, and I'll call Son, Amen. Amen. Mr. Shalom, Rabbi, as Shalom, and I'll call Son, Amen. Mazel tov.